Does it work? Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Sweet.
Not a
There you go.
problem.
So over to you, Coach H. Zap zones it is.
All right. We're in the zone. Just give me 1 sec here. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes. Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so really excited to be back. I missed everyone, but good to be here again. So let's jump right into it. There's been a lot of questions about this ZAP zone. What is it there for? Is it there for decoration? Is it there to confuse people? No, it's actually here to really help determine entries. And when using it, especially with the fundamentals, it just gives you a safe point of reference, right? So the way how basically it works, it resets every day. So it goes on, so every 24 hours, there's a new ZAP zone that's created, right? That just establishes the concentrated area of price. And it gives, it helps us develop our target entries. It helps with your patience. So basically, it's the same way how we've trained on it before, trained on using the same command contour levels. Nothing has really changed. It's just that the ZAP zone just gives us that extra, right? Everything we do with the command contour as we develop it to make it the best software ever is that we really want to have the command contour so amazing is that you can almost use it by itself, almost, okay? Because the whole goal of the community is that our vision is to have the best of both worlds. There are people who are all for fundamentals. There are people who are only all for technicals. We believe the hybrid is the best way to go about it. So the ZAP zone, what it does, especially as you're studying the news, you find these zones as the news occur, you find price reacts in these zones. So basic way of how to do it. Let's take, let's take GJ, for example, or let me go GU. Some people have GU. All right, let's start with GJ. Okay, let me remove all these drawings from here. So basically the way it works is like this. Now, remember we talked about a lot about liquidity gaps and all that stuff, liquidity zones. They're amazing for that. Okay, let me show you something here. For example, the first thing you want to look for is determine what is the trend of the market. And with the command contour, it's beautiful in determining that, right? One of the first things you want to look for is in a bullish trend, for example, say we're at this point. You want to take your rectangular shape and box the top to the bottom, just like that. And you see how price doesn't break the ZAP zone. It's like when coach used to teach supply and demand zones, or we don't do support and resistance. We do support and more like a zone, right? So you see price comes, retests the area and keeps going up. The beautiful thing with the ZAP zone is that if price doesn't break below the ZAP zone and you see the command contour is green, what you can do here is, says that's all we got. We just set the command contour levels. That's above the ZAP zone. Keep one to the left here. Price always visits where it was before. So even if it takes a little while, that's okay.
Hey, Coach H, if you close off probably that sidebar,
Oh,
you'll be
okay.
able to. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. So we have those zones marked off. And once you mark off the zone, the beautiful thing about it, you could go on any time frame and you'll still see it. But this is the idea. So see price breaks out of the zone, you would set your stop loss right by the zap zone. And as price breaks and retest, that's your target. And you see it hits all the command contour levels. And let's see what's the risk to reward there. That's the short position. Looking at 6-to-1 rate of return, right? The zap zone is so amazing is that when price breaks above it, you know, especially after we do research on the news, it goes, you know, and that's the wonderful thing about it. It's great for reference. It's great for setting your risk to reward. It's great for managing your risk. We particularly want to pay attention to when these zap zones are tight. So in this case, GJ, it's about, say, 50 pips thereabouts. Once price breaks out of it, does a retest, we're in the game, right? And that's the beautiful thing. I will set the stop loss below the zap zone, and we're in for the buy, execute. Those that love the 4-hour, you can go in the 4-hour as well. And you could see it clearly. This is the zap zone area. Price came, retest right here. See, the zap zone is in line with the command contour levels. Boom, we're in for the buy. Those who trade on the 4-hour, see a potential 10-to-1 risk to reward. And this happens over and over again. Now, we do not want to use the zap zones when it's spread out. Let's see if I can find an example. Okay, like this, for example, it's the spread is huge. That's 100 and something pips. So I would not trade that because it's too big, right? I trade the smaller zap zones because the risk, the amount that you're risking is right in line with our trading goals. Now, what you can do in a case like this, I'll just mark off the top and the bottom right here and wait for price to confirm what it's going to do. When it's usually spread out like this is consolidation, right? This is a whole area of consolidation. So then we just wait. And then if you notice, there's also the command contour levels right here as well. So we use them together as reference as strong area of price, either price reversal, price continuation. So let's do some more examples. So that's a basic synopsis of how it is. Remember, resets every day. If you see this for the day, leave it alone. Go somewhere else, right? You want to ensure that your zap zone is within your risk management strategy. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, I come to the chart. I did my research, studied the fundamentals. Okay. I come to the charts. What do I do here? I see the market is doing this. what I would do in a case like this, because I see it's potentially, it's on a, well, let me see what's the overall trend on the market, really. That's the first thing. Okay, overall trend is bullish. Yep, okay. So one of the first things you do, even before you look at ZAP zone, is mark out your command contour levels, as we did before. But let's mark it off on the arrow. Let's keep it consistent. Another level here. Another level here. One thing I love about the ZAP zone, it also helps with patience. Because if something is going bullish, we always wait for the pullback. So after we draw levels, okay, there we go. This is kind of wide for me, so I wouldn't really pay much attention. I would definitely wait for a pullback in the area, like to somewhere here, about 50% at least in a ZAP zone that size. And then we continue for the buy. So I'll definitely wait on this one before I do anything. Also, one of the things you can also mark off as well is when you see these gaps in the market here, for example, price always comes back and fill. So you can use past ZAP zones at the beginning of these gaps and just mark it off here. So although it's pushing up, at some point, price will come back and fill this gap at some point, and then continue up. So you can use it for reference as well. Okay, I'll go to another chart. Let's go to, say, US 30, for example. So one of the things you can do to make it very simple, the easiest way to use it, you can, step one, you can mark the ZAP zone, then mark the command contour levels above and below that zone. Say, for example, we're waiting for news. You're not sure, because nobody knows unless you're Mr. Powell's best friend. We don't really know how the news is going to affect the market, right? So to prepare for it, you draw the current day ZAP zone and you mark your command contour levels above and below the ZAP zone. And then you wait. So you see prices pulling back here. It can either pull back into this area because we have a fair price line and command contour. You can do this and push up. Or if it breaks, retest, it goes down. So those are the things, that's what the ZAP zone, this is how we use it. And I like what US 30 is doing now because This is the times where people lose money because they're not patient and they keep going back and forth. So you really want to break out a retest, touch the zap zone. It could go in the zap zone, but you want that break retest, then you get in. Break retest, then you go for the sell. Here's the next question. Well, yeah, that's great, but how would I know when to get in? Okay, don't worry. We could solve that problem. That's just fine. Now, how do you set it up? Hey, I'm at work, I'm running around, I'm getting groceries. You know, my mom's calling me, you know, she's upset that I didn't bring her enough flowers for Mother's Day, etc. So you're running around. Okay. How do you set it up that you never miss it? This is what you do. It's called using the alerts. So what I like to do is I like to use what's called my movable alerts. So let's change that to green. And let's change that to red. Right? And that is my, and then on these lines right here, oops, right there, and I leave them movable. So each day when the new zap zone occurs, I put them above and below the zap zone, right? And for those of you that are using MT4 on your computer or MT5, you can just take, well, pay attention to the spread as well. And you can put these levels inside of your MT4, MT5 on your computer and see how price reacts to it as well and get ready for it as well. Those who have MT5, command counter is already there, so you're already set. Those on MT4, you can transfer these numbers on there and still take advantage of it, right? So that's just a side note. So how do I not miss it? On these lines, you put the alerts. Right? I like once per bar. So when the alert hits, you get it. And just put, and remember, you want to use these messages to your advantage, right? So alert name, you could name it zap zone sell. Or is it divided? Let's do that again. Oh, it's the buy. Okay. Oh yeah, this is another way, by the way, you can add alerts. You could click on it and press the add alert, or you could right click and click add alert. Same thing. Once per bar, we're gonna name it zap zone buy or zap zone bulls, you know, either or. US 30, I like to keep the time frame on there because the time frame is very important. US 30, 1 hour zap zone break. So we have that alert there. Once per bar, 1 hour, US 30. Zap zone. And there you go. The good thing I love about this now is that doesn't matter. I can take this, I can move it here. Boom. And the alerts will still go off. That's what I love using alerts. It's just amazing, right? So, so for right now, for US 30, that's the potential for US 30. So we just sit and wait. Now, in a case like this, you see a retracement occur. Now, when you see retracements, we don't get in. We gotta wait for price to break out and retest before That's the key before we get in the trade, because we don't know how far this could retest. Generally, it won't pass here. If it doesn't pass here, and you see it go start pushing up and retest this level, and you get that alert, she's going here. And vice versa, right? So that's the key. It really helps with the patience. If you miss it, let the train go. Because I've never seen anyone jump on a moving train and survive to tell the tale. So if you've never seen that in your life, why would you try it on the markets? It's the same thing. US 30 is like a bullet train, right? So it really helps with patience. Let the trade come back to you and give you the alert. We're not even gonna look at the charts or look for an entry at all until the alerts go off and you see your confirmation, and then there you go. All right, let's go to gold. Senor Gold. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Look at this, everybody. Wow. Let me see. Let me check on how gold is doing. All right. And we're in profit. Very good. We're still in profit, coach. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So
yes, sir. Let's go.
So here's how we'll target. See, the command contour with the zap zone, it's really key. The command contour levels. Look at this. And this is why I like using the hour, because the hour really cuts out a lot of the noise in terms of your entry. So we have the zap zone here, right? We have the command contour level here. You see, the command contour in a zap zone kind of gives you an indication, the potential of where the market is headed. So if you see the zap zone at this point, this is the lowest point where it'll go. Then you see the command contour is green. So that's two confirmations that we're looking for buys, right? Price already came and retest. It retests this zone. And you see prices pushing up. So for those that caught the trade already, are in the move, we already could set your first TP at 2025. Right, so that's about 84 points right there. This TP2 right here. This TP3 right here. Now, and for those that want to be prepared, here's what I like to do. I like to hit those areas that gold hasn't traveled yet, because, you know, every now and again gold says, ah, I changed my mind. The reason why it does that, because of the uncertainty of the US dollar. So you'll see a lot of reaction for gold. There's a lot of talk about other countries pulling away from the US dollar. They don't have as much faith in it as they used to. So I like to mark these areas as well. So anytime in the future you see a zap zone is broken, these targets are already there, right? You only need to put like 1 or 2. You don't need to go crazy, because we just want to determine the direction, right? So there we have it. That's our zap zones. That's the way they work. Anybody else wants to look at another pair? How would we mark it up?
German 30, please.
German 30, let's go German 30. One thing I like about this with these zap zones too, before you can do this before the New York Open, before your session, right? So these are things you want to have marked up before your trading session, right? It's good to establish what session am I trading. That's very key. So you're able to mark these off, put your alerts, and just relax. Okay, German 30. Let's go, let's go. All right. I want to jump on this right away. Now, remember, I hope it's understood by everybody. We're already studying news. So I never suggest just marking these up and just wailing away at it, right? Just a disclaimer. So, although it seems like you could, but no, we always want to know what's going on. So here's very interesting. So we have the ZAP zone here. When the ZAP zone and the command contour are very close to each other, I just include the command contour level before I do anything. But also the ZAP zone could also help you determine where price is going, the trend of the market, right? For example, like in this area, see the ZAP zone here, it's in consolidation. So anytime you see price goes above and below the ZAP zone all the time, that immediately tells it's consolidation. If you get stopped out and say, oh, why am I being stopped out? Take your time and look at the market properly, right? Look and see if there's indecision. If there's indecision, you shouldn't be trading, right? Unless you're a scalper. But this is indecision right here, so I won't touch it. You see it's in the same zone right here again. That's consolidation. I won't touch it. Consolidation again. So this tells you consolidation, but look at what happens the next day. Bam, right? It goes down and look at this. It touched the command contour. That's to the pit. Wait, hold on. This is crazy. Are you seeing this to the pip? No, sorry, to the pipette. That's how for those that remember your your training. To the pipette, everyone. And then reversed, right? So we see the command contour, it broke to the pipette and then took off. So this is very important as well. So say you come back and you miss that. Oh, I missed that move. That's okay. Because what is it telling you? It's telling you that it's a reversal now. Price rejected off this command contour level. So now I should be looking for buys. And you see, it just fulfilled that. So from here, if here was marked off like that, marked off here, price came back and touched this. This is why you want to set take profit targets using the command contour, right? Unless you're a swing trader, then you go to like the 4 hour and so on. But for your intraday, you really want to utilize these command contour levels as a take profit targets, because usually those are areas where price turn around at some point. So for the German 30, we can see, let me clear all these. I'll just. So for the German 30, mark top and below, I include the command contour because it's right there. And in this case, we just wait. Now, if price rejects off of here, because price rejected from this point, you can see it's moving an upward trend. You see every ZAP zone is higher than the day before. So it went up, doing a little bit of a pullback, but I'm still biased for the potential buy. And that's how you'd mark it up. Right, set the alerts and get ready. You could either, another way to also know that you're really doing good is when price breaks out and retests this area. To be safe, I put it here at the bottom, or sometimes you could even put it at this, you see how this command contour is in the middle right here? When price breaks out and retests, you can put your stop loss here or 50% of the zap zone because of the command contour level that's here, right? So you really want to use them together. Let's look at another. Let's look at, what's one we haven't looked at for a while? GU. I know there's some GU fans out there. Okay, G already took off, right, from the zap zone. Okay, here's what's beautiful about this. You see it's approaching another zap zone, but you see the trend is moving down, right? So I draw that zap zone. I draw that one. Now, I would expect price to either hit the zone and continue selling or up here. So because it took off already, I'm not even watching it. I'll just wait. It's approaching another zap zone. We'll see what it does. It's in the middle of the ocean. So this also helps us determine whether we should even be in a trade or not. If it's in the middle of the ocean, everyone, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Would you ever get into a relationship with somebody who doesn't know where they are? You know, who can't make up their mind? Ladies, I know ladies don't have time for that. So that's also important. Now look at this again. We have NZD USD, for example. With the zap zones, we always want to be mindful of where we are in terms of direction. So although I see a zap zone here, some people say, oh, it broke and retest and it's buying. I'll be careful of that. I would not do that unless I see it breaks this command contour level. Right? So since it has not, because of the trend of the market and the US being strong right now, I'll look for that. And then what you can look for is, oh, that makes sense. Liquidity gaps all over. Okay. Then I'll mark these areas here, here, right? I look for that. That's what I'm looking for. The reason is too, I'm biased still for the sell because this is areas that price hasn't revisited yet. So it has to fill all this space. It filled this. This is just a pullback to continue for the sell. If for whatever reason it breaks and retests this command contour level, then I'll just look to take it up back for the buy. So with the zap zone, it helps. It doesn't matter what the market wants to do. It gives you areas of reference. It helps you manage your risk. So you're not just in a trade and like, oh, I don't know what to do. Use the zap zones and the command contour levels to your advantage. If you never have to worry again about, oh, I lost a trade, it's all over. No. If the trade doesn't go to your direction, you wait for a reaction to these price levels, you execute and you get it. You get it, right? For example, if you look at NZD USD, say you were in for the buy. Get rid of this. You're in for the buy. And always be mindful, right, of these levels. Oh, because anytime you see these long levels here, these are liquidity gaps or voids being created. Price sooner or later It may be next year, next week, but price will come back to you. Okay. So as we see these zap zones, you may be in for the buy. Okay, it stopped me out. Well, look at this, everyone. It may stop you out here, but always, anytime you get stopped out, go to the charts and look at where you are, right? Before, I used to just close my laptop and say, no, I'm done. Oh, I lost a trade. Oh, I'm done. No, you don't do that. You go and assess and see what happened. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you know why? Let me see what happened here. Thanks for that. That's okay. Well, it's not a massive sell-off. Let's go jump on gold. Here there's an emergency there. Sorry, so let me interrupt this really quick. Let's see what's going on. Don't get nervous. Let's go back. Is it really selling off? Risk management is important. You see, it hasn't even touched back this command contour level. I'll pull back. I'm not even worried about it, right? So before you enter the trade, you want to ensure that when you at entry, that I'm right here. So I'm prepared to lose 60 on this, right? So I'm not even worried. But really, really and truly, well, we should have been in from before. But right here, I'm putting myself, I'd say, let's say 40 pips. For gold, 40 pips is amazing, right? So this is another thing. Never look at your MT4 numbers. Don't look at your positions to tell you what the market is doing. That's one of the biggest mistakes you could ever make. Well, okay, if you really want to lose money in the market, let me give you the secret. Let me give you the secret to lose money. Okay, if you really want to lose money in this market, right? Keep looking at your numbers, at your positions to tell you what the market is going to do. You never do that. No, that used to trip me up all the time. Oh, it's pulling back. Okay, let me get out. Okay. Then the market will go, okay, let me get back in. Oh, no, it's pulling back. Let me come out. Oh, let me go back in. Okay, what that does is, this is where it plays with your emotions, right? This is why when you set your risk accordingly, that's why I love the zap zones with the command contour. I put my stop loss here. I don't care what this does. If it doesn't break out, that's fine. If it takes me out, that's fine. I wait for a retest and I'm going to take it down for the sell. Bam. Right? So never fear, never worry. Just the risk management is important. If you're in your trade and you're worried about the pullback, it means that you've risked too much. 110%. You risk way too much. Your position is too big. Never worry. You must never worry about a pullback. The market's going to pull back. That's what it does, right? So the zap zone will help you in managing your psychology, help you managing your risk. Because if you don't have a risk plan, you will never have your psychology will never be in place. Never, right? Okay, so these are reference. Use our reference. This command contour hasn't been broken. The zap zone level hasn't been broken. I'm good. I'm holding that, right? And those that were in drawdown earlier, guess what? You should be getting back in profit. I'm chill, right? So, and that's okay. Another thing to pay attention to, the zap zone, you see it's below the command contour level here. So this consolidates. So I won't really pay much attention to this. You want the zap zone, the command contour level, and how price reacts. So when this breaks out of here, I'm confident that it's going up because The command contour level is green. The ZAP zone level is here, right? Price hasn't broken this area. Boom, we're looking for that buy, right? We're looking at NZD USD. Who's getting some value out of this with these ZAP zones? I mean,
tremendous value.
You could set this is such a game changer right here. So here we are. For example, you hit NZD USD. Okay, say you got in. All right, you want to pay attention every day. One of the first signs is when you see market is going the opposite way. Well, the timing really. News determine, the fundamentals determine that the market is switching. The thing is, it's the timing of it, right? So that's all this does. This tool helps us with our timing. So say you're in for the buy. Okay, great. You see how price didn't break above this level? That's a good sign. That's a great sign. Then you see price came back, retest this area, and then sell off. You really want to wait till price crosses the command contour level to start the process. Then it just continues falling from there. Now, as you see the market trend goes up, as we've taught before, you want to keep marking off these command contour levels. So at the time, anytime price ready to reverse, gives you that confirmation, does that retest, you already have your take profit targets in there. Right? So this is how we get prepared before the market hits. Say we go to the news, you want to forecast, there's a interest rate decision coming up, right? We want to take a look at that and project. Let me go to my, let's go to my FX book, for example. All right. It's a great projection tool. So this is how we project. So we got with unemployment rate. No, we don't do anything. Euro CPI. That's a big one, right? So that's coming up on, that's tomorrow, May 16th at 3 a.m. in the morning. So let's look at some Euro pairs. There's CPI also for the Canadian news, right? So let's look at Canadian news and Euro. Euro AUD, for example. All right. So we're gonna get ready for it. I like going to the daily and see what's the overall trend. Weekly as well. Okay. It's pushing up for now. Sometimes I even like going to the 12-month. And to white. Lock these in. Okay, so that's my range I'm dealing with from the 12-month. 6 months. Okay, 3 months. Monthly chart, okay. Weekly. Daily, right? 8 hours, okay. All right, so there we go. So interest rate decision is huge. Like, let me see, why did that spike right there? Woo! I love this tool, man. This is crazy. This is crazy, everybody. Look at this. That's the command contour level. To the pip, everybody. This is crazy. And it just reacted. Okay. So now the CPI is major. I'm kind of biased for the buy, right? Based on this rejection here and it's going up. But again, CPI is major news, man. That could take it any way it wants to. So let's get prepared. I'll mark off these levels above. You know what? Let me, yeah, mark that. Remember, we're not looking to trade anything. We're doing setup. We're getting prepared for that CPI news, right? You're not looking to trade this at all. We're just looking for setups. That's it. We're getting prepared. Okay. That's there. I'll fill it as a different color. It's blue, so I know, okay, that's a command contour zone. And now we just wait, right? So here's the thing now. We're in what the Euro CPI is in almost a day from now. So what do? Every day this resets. So I will wait for tomorrow at the end of the day for the new ZAP zone to form. And then we mark it out. We watch, we read the news, what's going on, and we just wait. That's it. One of these levels is going to be hit, right? And that's how you prepare. You just prepare and wait. Before the news comes, we draw it out, we just chill. That's it. So that's Euro. Let's look at GCAD. Usually moves pretty good. Well, GCAD was weird for a while. Look at this consolidation. This actually has some serious potential. And here's why. Anytime there's major news following a consolidation, generally, this is generally now, generally, okay, sorry. Let's go. Come on. What is happening here? ZAP zone break. Okay, no, I got it for the buy. Okay, that's fine. Good. You see it's coming back and retest this area. I'm loving this. Here's the key. If it doesn't break this area, we're good. So, all right, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I am going to wait. All right, let's go back to GCAD. See, all these areas is consolidation, this whole area. Whole area is consolidation. So we just get prepared. That's it. That's all we do. We get prepared. By the way, if you're in gold, you should be in some nice profits right now. If you're in profits, type some 777s in the chat. If you took that gold trade from early. See, we don't get nervous. You should be in some nice profits now. Now, what would have happened if we had got out, right? Just let it do its thing. Okay, so we in the CAD. Now, one thing I realized from experience, the greater the consolidation, the greater the move. The greater the length of time for a consolidation, the greater the move. I believe this CPI news for the CAD is going to be explosive. Explosive. So we're ready. We're ready right here. So now what I will do is I'll just wait for the day to finish, the ZAP zone to end, because I really don't see this moving a lot today because it gears up for the news. So we just wait. And then we'll see what that does again. So that's the ZAP zone right there. Any other pairs anybody wants me to take a look at?
Woo, that is amazing. Well, no, we're at the time where we need to wrap it up.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take it away, Coach
Wow,
BG.
amazing. All right, drop some fire emojis in the chat if Coach H, man, drop some value there for you. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. Who's going to be using those ZAP zones from now on? You got it there now. Now you know. Yes, sir. That's it. Fire emojis left, right, and center. Hey, alert comes off already on the ZAP zone. There you go. Amazing. All right, so we'll have this one recorded. We'll drop it in the video chat. We'll have it on YouTube so that you can review. But there we go. Right? There we go. Fantastic. So for all within the Command Contour community, we're going to continue rocking and rolling. And for those who are ready to get going, I just go to www.commandcontour.com, get yourself plugged in. You could only get access to this ZAP zone tool if you have access to the Command Contour tool on MT5 or on your trading view. So make sure you choose the right package that suits your needs. All right. And we will see you very soon. Tomorrow we have another session. So bye-bye for now. Thank you all so much. Upwards and onwards. Right. And remember the saying for today, a good old Dave Ramsey. Right. You want to live like no one else so that you could live like no one else. Okay? You want to live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else. Dave Ramsey. So there we go. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
All right.